Welcome back to the channel, everybody. You know what time it is? It's time for part 3 of our series, Top 10 Movies That Never Got a Sequel. These movies, they were huge, right? People loved them. But for some reason, we never got a sequel, so we're gonna dive deep into these cinematic mysteries and see what's up. Let's get this bread! Okay, first up, we got Hop. You remember Hop, right? Talking bunny, loves to drum, hangs out with Russell Brand. Pretty good movie, so why no sequel? Well, Illumination, the studio behind Hop, they said they didn't want to force a sequel. They were all about that organic sequel life, you know? They didn't want to just crank out a Hop 2 for the money. They wanted to make sure it was a story worth telling, which, you know, fair enough, but like, come on. A talking bunny who plays the drums? That's sequel gold right there. I mean, what could a sequel even be about? Maybe EB has to save Easter again, or maybe he goes on tour with his band, or maybe he teams up with the minions from Despicable Me. The possibilities are endless. Next up, we got The Lorax. This one's a classic, right? Based on the Dr. Seuss book, teaches kids about the environment, has a great message. So why no sequel? Well, apparently, they considered it, but in the end, they decided to focus on other projects. I mean, I get it, The Lorax is a pretty self-contained story. But still, there's always room for more Lorax, right? Maybe we could have seen the once Lear trying to make amends for his past mistakes. Or maybe we could have explored the world of the Truffula trees in more detail. Or maybe we could have seen Danny DeVito reprise his role as the Lorax in a hilarious new adventure. Up next we have The Grinch. You know, the one with Jim Carrey? Yeah, that one. So, why no sequel to this holiday classic? Well, apparently they didn't want to mess with a good thing. The first movie was a hit, so why risk a sequel that might not be as good? I mean, I get it. But also, a sequel to The Grinch could have been amazing. Imagine, The Grinch, now reformed, has to save Christmas again from a new threat. Or maybe he gets framed for stealing Christmas again and has to clear his name. Or maybe he just tries to navigate the joys and stresses of the holiday season like the rest of us. Chapter 4, Horton Hears a Who 2, The Who Strike Back. Next up, it's Horton Hears a Who, classic Dr. Seuss, right? Elephant hears tiny people on a speck of dust, hijinks ensue. So why no sequel to this whimsical adventure? Well, get this, they actually tried to make a sequel. They were all set to go. But then, the big bad wolf of the movie industry, the Fox CEO, he shut it down. Apparently it wasn't in the budget, can you believe that? Horton deserved better. We deserve better. A sequel could have explored the Who's world in more detail. Or maybe Horton could have gone on a new adventure to find another speck of dust with life on it. Chapter 5, The Cat in the Hat, 2, The Return of Thing 1 and Thing 2. Next up on our list is The Cat in the Hat. Now this movie was a bit of a mixed bag, right? Mike Myers in a hat, lots of slapstick humor, some people loved it, some people hated it. But regardless of your opinion on the movie, you gotta admit, a sequel could have been interesting. They could have brought back Thing 1 and Thing 2 for more chaotic fun. Or maybe the Cat in the Hat could have visited a whole new group of kids and taught them valuable life lessons. Or maybe they could have just embraced the weirdness and gone full-on surreal with it. Chapter 6. The Wild 2, Escape from the Concrete Jungle. Alright, next up we got The Wild. You remember The Wild, right? No? Well, that's probably why it never got a sequel. It was basically Disney's version of Madagascar, but it just didn't quite hit the same way. The animation was good, the voice acting was fine, but the story was just kind of there. It didn't really grab you. So, yeah, no, The Wild 2. Maybe they could have done a crossover with Madagascar? That would have been something. Chapter 7, Strange World, 2, The Search for Searcher. Up next we got Strange World. Now this one's a bit of a head-scratcher. It was a Disney movie. It had a cool premise, it had some pretty impressive animation. But it just flopped, like really flopped. Nobody went to see it, so yeah, no Strange World 2, which is a shame because I actually thought the first one was pretty good. Maybe they could have explored the Strange World in more detail, or maybe they could have delved deeper into the relationships between the characters. Chapter 8, The Black Cauldron 2, Revenge of the Horned King. Next up we have The Black Cauldron. This one's a bit of a cult classic, right? It's a Disney movie, but it's one of their darker, more intense films. So why no sequel to this fantasy epic? Well, apparently it bombed at the box office, like, really bombed. It was one of Disney's biggest flops at the time, so yeah, no, The Black Cauldron 2, which is a shame because the first one is actually pretty good. The animation is beautiful, the story is engaging, and the characters are memorable. Chapter 9. Snow White 2, The Evil Queen Strikes Back. Alright, next up we got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, this one's a classic, right? It's the first full-length animated feature film ever made. But why no sequel? I mean, it's Snow White. Everybody loves Snow White. Well, apparently they felt like the story was complete. They didn't want to mess with perfection, which, I get it. But still, a sequel could have been interesting. Maybe we could have seen Snow White and the prince ruling their kingdom together. Chapter 10. Robots 2, The Return to Robot City. Last but not least, we have Robots. This one's a personal favorite of mine. It's got a great message about following your dreams, the animation is top-notch, and the characters are super charming. So, why no sequel to this heartwarming adventure? Well, apparently it all came down to money. Blue Sky Studios, the studio behind Robots, they wanted to make a sequel. They had ideas and everything. But the bigwigs at Fox, they said no. They didn't think it would make enough money. And there you have it, folks. 10 movies that never got the sequels we were hoping for. From talking bunnies to grumpy Grinches to robots with big dreams, these movies had it all. But alas, it wasn't meant to be. But hey, that's show business, right? Sometimes you get a sequel and sometimes you don't. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. And let me know in the comments down below which movie sequel you wish had been made. Until next time, stay awesome.